Hi and welcome to today's episode of In the Gluten-free Pantry. As you can see, once again I'm back at Mum's. I had to come over to use their internet for a little while because we're just about run out at home again. One of the great joys of living in the bush and having satellite internet. Anyway, enough about that. Today's gluten-free ingredients. So we're still talking about gluten-free flours and the ones that I use. Today I'm going to talk about one that really I'm not a huge fan of, and I try to use it as sparingly as possible, and yet I still use it. So what is this crazy ingredient that we're talking about? Here it is. I brought it in a Ziploc bag because I didn't want it spilling everywhere in the bag on the drive over this morning. Tapioca flour. Okay, so I'll start out with why I don't like it, and then I will tell you why I still use it. So I'm not a fan of tapioca flour because it's not a nutrient-rich food. It's probably the best way to put it. So obviously, as a nutritionist, I want to make sure that everything we eat is always healthy and that we're getting sort of maximum bang for our buck, so to speak. I like to think of what we eat as being a little bit like a budget. You can only eat so much food in a day, so you want to make sure that you're getting the maximum amount of nutrients in to support your health for what you're eating. You don't want to sort of run out of space to eat before you've got everything that you need, if that makes sense. So why don't I like tapioca flour? Well, for starters, it's got a massively high GI, like I'm talking 94, 96. Now, given that the highest GI rating that a food can have is 100, which is pure sucrose, 94 or 96 is like insanely high. And then to top that off, there's really no other nutrition in it. There's no minerals, there's no vitamins, there's very little fibre. So basically it's just pure empty carbohydrate that's going to push your blood sugars sky high, and you're not getting anything in return for it. So why do I use it then? Well, I don't use it very often. Admittedly, the only times that I ever do use it are when I'm making dumplings or pasta. Now the reason for that is because the tapioca flour helps to hold things together. So you might have noticed sometimes when you're cooking with gluten-free flours that they tend to just kind of crumble and fall apart. Well, if you add a little bit of tapioca flour, it just helps to hold things together. Having said that, you don't want to use too much tapioca flour because it makes things go really hard. I'm talking like concrete hard. So if you made, for example, pikelets and only used tapioca flour, it'd be like eating little pebbles. So it's one of those things, just add a little bit, but not too much, and only use it when you absolutely have to. So that's basically why I use it. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to tell you about is how you could be eating quite a bit of this without actually knowing. So next time you grab a box or a packet of your favourite gluten-free, just sort of all-purpose flour that you might use for baking, flip it over and have a look at the ingredient panel, because 9 times out of 10 you're going to find tapioca in there. And also have a look at where it falls in the list of ingredients. So ingredients are listed from the ingredient with the most down to the ingredient with the least. So if tapioca is the very first ingredient in your gluten-free flour mix, then it means there is more tapioca flour in there than anything else. If it's right down the bottom of the list, then it means there's more of everything else than there is of that. So I hope you found that interesting today. Again, not a fan of it, but still do use it on a very rare occasion. But just make sure you're not kind of eating more of it than you realise, because again, it's going to push your blood sugars really high, and there really is absolutely no nutritional value in it. So thanks for watching today, and I will see you tomorrow in our next episode of In the Gluten-free Pantry. Have an awesome day. Bye!